I'm actually not hunting when I'm out on the street, and I'm not looking for anything. I don't know what to expect. The world is rich with surprises, far greater than I could invent. So what I think is alive in me is a kind of waiting for a moment of real consciousness or awakenness, where something happens and I'm suddenly there and understanding its potential resonance and meaning for me. It's a way of finding my own identity again and again in a new form in the world at large. But I never look for anything. I just wait, and if you're out there, things happen, and they'll be surprising. And it's one of the reasons why a lot of photographs are so boring, because people go hunting, and they hunt for only what's in their minds, and usually that's not up to the richness of the things that are happening out there, independent of their minds. So for me, it's about being surprised. And really, if I say, that's the photograph, the moment that I have that intake of breath, inspiration, that's when it happens. The secret is to find a way to be invisible. From Cartier-Bresson on, photographers on the street have learned the feints and dodges and gestures that allow them to get very close and do it so quickly that nobody sees them. But if you sit around with a telephoto lens and you're doing this, people will see you and you'll be, don't take my picture. So my practice is to be as effortless and quick and invisible as possible. I started in 1962, and the first film I put in the camera, not knowing any better, was color film, because I could get it back in the same day, and the world was in color, and I didn't know that black and white was thought to be the superior art form, and color was the plaything. In a black and white photograph, a blue sky and a woman in a yellow raincoat is just gray and gray. So that yellow has no value whatsoever. And we're all, as human beings, totally sympathetic. The color of your mother's apron, the color of your little blankie, the color of your dolly, whatever it was that you grew up with, we have emotional connections to those things. And I just thought that color resonates in a way that gives more information. And that's the difference for me. One is a kind of reduction. And I have nothing against black and white. I made 10 years of those photographs. But the richness of color's potential, not to be colorful, mind you, to be subtle and to be communicative in a way that might add resonance to the picture, that's why color. The pleasure I find from making these still lifes and then the grid images is that some of these objects, which are really all cast-offs, thrown away, dead. And here I am putting them back in circulation in some way, giving them a chance for life again. And so as I turn them around, some aspect gives off an anima, a moment of presence, as if the thing has presence. Here it is, a dead piece of tin. You turn it around and suddenly one facet of it leaps into being. It's that. And it's almost as if each one is a portrait of a thing, or the quality within the thing that's revealed. And so that's what I'm looking for. And putting them together in a grid seems to have a cabinet of wonders kind of relationship. The elements have parts of each other in it, but they are separate. And I thought, is it possible to photograph the phenomena of the elements, earth, air, fire, water, in a non-conventional way, a kind of dumb way? Can I photograph dirt? Can I photograph water? Can I photograph air and make it interesting? Without the horizon line, without the pictorial space of Renaissance perspective. Could I just make the phenomena? And I thought, let me try. So I made some pictures, and I made them big, 92 inches, because I wanted the viewer to enter the space, almost like abstract painting, like Rothko or Morris Louis, where you entered the space and the force of the painting surrounded you. And I wanted to see if the phenomena could become something that we entered. And they took my breath away. But it's a risk, because they're dumb. I took some old fabric and I printed on the fabric a dark wall, which you can hardly see, but it works for me. And I created kind of a theatrical space. And on it I put a lot of these objects that I found. And I moved them around until they seemed to have some relationship with each other that is interesting. Maybe almost like a street photograph. It's just a matter of when the energy of the objects and their strangeness kind of asserts itself. And then I see them in their theatrical way. And I'm photographing them in the dark, not nighttime dark. There's a window nearby. But you know the great photograph by Edward Weston of the pepper? It's a dark green pepper, looks black, right? Inside of a funnel, an old tin funnel. And Weston put it in the far reaches of his studio and told the boys to go away. And he opened the camera probably for a number of hours and let the light reach the object and describe it slowly. No strobe or flash, but slowly, slowly, all those photons building up an image on the negative. And I'm doing the same kind of thing, slow light, looking at dark objects in a dark surround and letting time become light. So that when you see the light of it, it's the light that has accumulated on the object. You know, I'm Mr. Cape Light. Everybody thinks of my photographs as rich with light. And these are too, but they're in the dark. When you hold up a photograph, here's the picture. When you turn it sideways, it's one plane. It's a thin sheet of paper. It's like a time capsule. It's traveled from 1920 or 1860, from that past, which was the present, because photography is always the present moment in the photograph. That present of a guy on a camel in front of the pyramids, when I hold it in my hands in 2014 and I look at it, I'm back there. And it's that transference from the present of our present to the present of the past. And there's a kind of weaving of realities, which is thrilling in some way that's sometimes beyond words. It's about knowing, oh, look at how they stand, look at how they carry themselves, look at the way the hair is on the head, or you know, it's the sensuality of things from the past and the present. It's one of the great pleasures of reading a photograph.